Hey, everybody. Hey, Lisa.
Hey everybody. Hey Tammy. Gear Grinding's been working 60 to 70-hour weeks.
Oh
Woo!
my gosh, gear. Bring on winter. A mild one. Can we agree on that?
Lord have mercy, please. Please, please, please let it be mild.
Mild winter, please. Yes.
Although last year was mild, so
It was mild. It was. I'm
take
not
it.
so sure. I know there's been discussion about whether or not we're having a really buggy season because of that, but I know that there's been some people who have shared that they don't feel that way and had some pretty good explanations. So who knows?
You mean
How
buggy like in the garden?
Yeah, so far so I haven't had anything. Well, those darn flea beetles. I'm gonna have to get creative because
DE.
yes, I've been using it. Well, maybe I should use it more frequently. I mean, I use it like once a week. I think I probably need to go. Well, okay, let's be honest. I've only done it twice since I first told you this. So
Well, yeah, because it's called life.
maybe three times tops. And that might be more like an every other week thing. So I think I need to be consistent and get out there and, douse those suckers.
I'll be honest, I didn't water my gardens yesterday because I'm so tired of watering every day. And not only
I
that, they're
know.
not producing really yet. So
Aw.
I'm kind of like punishing them.
Yeah. Right.
I'm
I
not watering you today. So there.
You don't deserve it.
That's right. That's where I'm at, quite honestly.
I was listening to a replay of a live from Indiana Backyard Gardener, and she was talking about how if you want to encourage, okay, I'm going to use the word fruit production, even
Yeah.
though it's not all fruit, but if you want to encourage that kind of production, you need to have the phosphorus and the potassium. So a banana tea would be really good for them. Makes me wonder. I haven't.
Yeah.
I do the banana kind of, but I've never really timed when I put it on. And I'm thinking now's the time for me to take my dehydrated, ground up banana peels out to the garden and just throw them out there to see how they do. I think.
I did lime water yesterday, sweet barn lime
Mm-hmm.
in water. So, like 2 handfuls per gallon.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 15 gallons. So,
Lime water.
well, it's for tomatoes because you don't want to give them too much. So I put the sweet barn lime in water, and like I said, the guy said 1 to 2 handfuls per gallon.
Uh huh.
Mix it up, let it sit for a little bit. You'll have some at the bottom. Don't freak out, depending on the lime you get.
Yeah.
Not hot lime, not hot lime, because
Mm-hmm.
if that hits water, it's not good. So
Hmm.
anyway, um, because I had blossom end rot on a few tomato plants, even though I put a preventative in there, so I stirred it around, and then yesterday I watered them using a 16-ounce container. So if it was like a 5 gallon pail, I gave them two
Uh
of
huh.
those. If
Mm-hmm.
it was a larger pot, I gave them three. And then if they're in the ground, they need a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
like half a bucket or something per plant.
Yeah. And that's else you think?
For blossom end rot,
Ah. Okay.
because I had it on one or two tomatoes plants. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so what I decided was this is like quick release because it's in the water and it goes right to the roots.
Uh huh.
So it's supposedly supposed to fix it quickly because I did use Epsom salts,
Hmm.
didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I threw Tums in the one container
Uh huh.
and that I still had blossom end rot,
Huh.
on a new tomato.
Yeah. I'm looking to
So
see what that. I've never had it, but I've heard about it, and I'm
it's
going. Oh,
basically
I
the
see it. Here's some great pictures. Hold
so
on.
it's basically the bottom of the tomato.
Hmm.
We also had it with our squash and zucchini last year. And then we started to have that problem this year, and I just put lime around the base of the plants, which is what I did last year.
Here's what I'm seeing.
Hey Karen, hey Gail.
Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah, so the far left on the top,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we had on the red one.
Mm. Yeah. And lime works for that. And when you say lime, so what are you? Hold on. You guys can't see my screen anymore, right?
No, let me just say hello real quick in the chat for you while you're looking.
Okay.
Hey, Heather, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. Hey, Gail. Hey, Karen. I know I kind of said hello, but I wanted to say hello again. Hey, Kristen Bella's Whisper Farmstead. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody.
So let me see if it'll let me Google what I use.
Okay. It should give you an option to present, right?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
I'm hoping. I have trouble with that on my own channel lately.
Hey, Gwen.
Hey, Gwen.
Came a downpour. Oh, my goodness. Like, you guys need more rain.
Okay, do you see it?
Ew. Hold on.
Oh, wait. Oh, there you go.
It says add stage. Oh, that was cool. I don't know how you did that, but that's cool.
Okay, so sweet barn lime,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, 1 to 2 handfuls, 2 handfuls per gallon of water. Let it dissolve, and then I poured 2 16-ounce cups on a 5-gallon pail, and then 3 on a larger container. It was a video that I saw. But it's available immediately was the reasoning. Because I wanted to halt it because we've been so slow and I didn't want any more to develop it. But you can't give them too much of it. That's the thing too. Hey, Gwen.
Awesome. You're going to have to show me how you did this as a separate thing. That's cool. I didn't know we could do that.
Well, stop sharing it for a minute.
Okay.
I used it for blossom end rot on my zucchini, and yellow squash. I used just put it directly by the roots of the plant. Hey, Aidnear. And then what I did yesterday was make a lime water to water my tomatoes with for blossom end rot. So all I did was hit present, share screen, and it's because I am a guest, you have to put it up like that.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's cool though.
Yeah, so we had a couple plants, even though I tried to prevent it, we had a couple plants that developed it, and I used Epsom salt, and we still got another tomato on that plant that came up with it. So I just made sure to just water them all yesterday with it.
What causes that? Do you know?
Oh, there's a lot of different things. They say not watering consistently. We water consistently. And the reason why I know is because I water every day before chores.
Yeah.
I finish I water, finish all that, take a break, and then do chores. That's my routine. So they're consistently watered. I know that.
Yeah.
The other thing is and I'm not going into science because I don't know all of it. Lack of calcium. So I fertilized them. They've been fertilized. So like they should have everything they need. Quite honestly, I think the 90-something degree days in the greenhouses get kind of hot.
Just drying out in between watering. Huh.
Well, and that's not a bad thing because they want their feet to dry up a little. You know, it's when they don't dry up is when it's trickier.
Yeah.
Because I'm an overwaterer.
Yeah. I've got one tomato plant that's getting kind of speckled, and we had a lot of rain, and I think it might have set us up to have some fungus of some sort. So I'm looking into that. That's why I was going and checking what that was, because I'm not quite sure what's going on with my tomatoes. I haven't done a video yet, but I'll do a video to share. It's producing a lot of tomatoes, so I can't complain. I know. I'm really happy about that. We've got
Karen said her zucchini seems to be growing slowly this year, unless I'm just too anxious for it. You know, we were just having this.
Karen.
Mine too. And we were just having this conversation, Ryan and I. You know how they always joke about, you know, you miss a zucchini one day it's little, the next day it's massive. We are not having that problem this year.
Hey, Jennifer, thanks for coming.
Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Charles.
Charles, thank you for coming.
But everything is growing so so slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Yeah.
we've got smoke in the area, but that's only the past week. We've had some
Mm-hmm.
pretty heavy smoke
Yeah.
from, the Western fires,
Mm-hmm.
West Coast fires, and that can stunt, plants and stuff,
Yeah.
but I
What
don't think it's been as bad. You're
I've
not alone, Karen.
No, you're not alone. And it's not all of my beds. So I've got, as you know, from my restoring your soil video, there's two beds that I mainly was like really targeting. Hey, Ann, little Frenchie in Big
And
Texas. So good to see you. Um, those main two beds, I was putting in some leaves from the woods, from the forest floor, and some manure, and that kind of stuff in my compost, and then mixing it with some garden soil and also dirt that was already in the garden itself. And those beds are doing okay as far as production. Like they're yielding. They're yielding a lot more than vegetables. I've been pulling. Like one of them was a big project, and we pulled a bunch of weeds. And anyway, I'll talk about that in a minute. But one little bed that I really didn't mess with because I didn't have any complaints. I've got my zucchini, 5 zucchini plants out there. I have kidney beans over there. I harvested a little bitty handful of kidney beans, which was so fun. They're like little magic beans. I'll have to post a picture or something. But
you got
uh,
beans already?
I did. I got kidney beans.
Wow.
Well, they're done though. I don't think they're going to give me any more. I don't know much about beans, but they don't look like they're growing. So I don't think they're going to give me any more beans. I might have to just plant more or something. But that bed, I think I got pill bugs in there. I think that I seen a roly poly, so they could be eating roots. Maybe I'm not sure, but it's not my all of my zucchini's not growing. My yellow squash, and I had each one of them. The pull out drawers and the plastic shelves, that you can roll around, those pull out drawers. I've got one planted in that, just to give you a size for how much soil it's growing in. And then I've got another container that's not quite as big, but big enough for a yellow squash. And I pulled one little stubby one this weekend, and the other one I see one growing, but otherwise they're not producing. And I mean, I made sure I planted two of them, remember? Squash like friends. And and even my butternut squash that's in the bed where all the tomatoes and the peppers are thriving, and it's in the
Yeah.
middle and it can vine all around everybody. I see vines, but I'm seeing no squash. So that's the 3 squash plants I'm planting, each one of them in a different environment, and none of them are producing, which is kind of crazy to me. Like the first one, I think it's pill bugs, but what's their excuse? I don't know what's
I don't
happening.
know. Welcome to my world.
Yes.
Heather's talking about bush beans are great for lots of production.
Mm-hmm.
I probably planted a good 100 or so bush bean plants,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything. And they're
Huh.
in brand new soil,
Uh-huh.
brand new stuff. I just think we get too cool
Mm-hmm.
at night for
Yeah.
beans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
it's so
in
it
fact, I gave away all my seeds because I'm done.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, we couldn't do kidney beans, we couldn't do butternut squash.
Uh-huh.
Um, there's a lot of things we can't do, and
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, it's a waste of space.
Yeah.
Um, and it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
And this year is the slowest
Hey,
we've
Jan.
been. Hey, Jan.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, Heather, the bush
Yeah.
beans that I started in the house, um, they don't like their roots disturbed, but I wanted to try it.
Mm-hmm.
They look like heck, but they were producing beans by the time before they went outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they're looking horrible, but
Mm-hmm.
the other ones are coming up. But bush beans don't take a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
They're well, here they don't. They're very short, they're very stout.
Yeah.
They're not doing much.
Yeah. I planted peas and kidney beans. On my kidney beans, I got like 6 pods. So I have like 24 beans ish altogether.
Seeds for next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm even wondering if I could maybe plant some again. I still got 80 days in
Go
my
for it.
growing season because I know they're good for the soil, right? The
Yep.
nitrogen they put in the soil. So that's why I'm thinking about doing that. And then my peas, I planted those late. I haven't seen anything on them yet. So those are my two. Now my tomatoes and peppers are doing good.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
and Gail, I found because she had sent me seeds for oh my good tomatillos. And I didn't plant them this year, but I have a volunteer that was hiding in all the weeds that we pulled. And my husband actually found it. He's all, hey, what's this guy? And he's like, you got a tomatillo growing. I'm like, I do. It already has flowers. Like it's tall. My grass was tall.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I'm telling you, all of the garden, that's why I wanted to do this discussion on setting ourselves up for success because
Speaking of which,
I have, speaking of which, reeling it all in, right? Um, I have this year with the weeds have just been craziness. And I've been pulling weeds, but I haven't been putting mulch on top of where I pulled the weeds from. And it feels like I have been not setting myself up for success. And
right.
I'll have to do a garden update because I'm doing it section by section. And we got out there, me and my husband, and we busted a move and pulled weeds and oh my goodness, and then brought in the mulch and covered
Yep.
it all up. And I'm so happy. It's looking so beautiful in this area. Now I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a whole nother area to go to, but I'm feeling like that's one of the things, if you're finding you have all these weeds that you're pulling and you don't pull a weed and go stuff in some mulch in there, you're going to have another one shoot right back up on you. And while I'm sure I'm still going to be struggling with these weeds, I know it's going to buy me some time and at least make it manageable. Otherwise, I would have had them out there already. Hey,
Right.
Blue,
Hey, Blue.
good to see you.
Yeah, I think I've decided. So we started our plants in February,
Uh huh.
tomatoes,
Uh huh.
a bunch of other things, and then we started other stuff 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost.
Uh huh.
And basically, we've gotten um, a couple cucumbers, a
Uh
couple
huh.
blossom and rot tomatoes,
Uh huh.
and tons of lettuce and rhubarb. Right?
Uh huh. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm growing next year.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, because setting myself up for success,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Oh,
means,
yes.
and y'all know me, I
Yeah.
don't give up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But Ryan and I have been really looking at the cost.
Uh huh.
And now don't get me wrong, I want the
There is
fresh
a cost.
produce, but
Yeah.
the cost, I am watering. June was like, I can't remember the price, 40. July is going to be almost $70 in water.
Uh huh. Wow.
Water, that's it.
Wow.
And I'm still not getting anything. I've been
Yeah.
watering every day since June.
Wow. And now you're
Um,
feeling like you're literally pouring money down the drain. Hey, Nancy.
correct.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Now, if I was harvesting already, it'd be different. But
Mm-hmm.
then here's the thing. I think next year
Mm-hmm.
I'm not growing anything. And if I do,
Mm-hmm.
I'm backing off considerably. And the reason why is
Mm-hmm.
I can take all that money we're putting towards our garden
Uh-huh.
and spend less money and have a
Mm-hmm.
higher yield
Yep.
of garden produce boxes that I buy locally.
True, true. True, true.
I
So
know how to grow, so if I needed to, I
exactly.
could.
That's what I was gonna say is there's
Because I did
developing
this
the
for 5
skill.
years. Right,
Yes.
I did it for 5 years,
Yep.
but
You have developed the skill because that's always one of the things about growing. So let me ask you this. Are you gonna do the greenhouses though?
I
Because
may.
those do
I
well.
don't know. Right now, I'm pretty burnt on the garden, meaning
Yeah.
that I'm very disappointed in this year so
Yes.
far.
Mm-hmm.
However, maybe we'll have an abundant harvest. You don't
Yeah.
know.
You're right. You don't
But
know.
I think it would be good for the soil too
Mm-hmm.
to have a break. And
Oh,
then
are you gonna
we have
plant
to
cover
add to the
crops?
beds. What's that?
Are you gonna plant any cover crops?
No, because I think what we're going to do is amend the soil and plant the
Ah,
garlic and onions in the main one by the house.
there you go. Okay.
And
Yeah.
then maybe we have asparagus, obviously, in one of the
Mhm.
beds. We have horseradish, rhubarb, that'll all come up.
Yeah.
But I think that
Or at least you horseradish root, you think it'll come up.
uh, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
It's taking over.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I think that we also have to add to the raised beds because they sink so much when you do the
Uh-huh.
hugelkultur.
They do.
So, and that's okay because you
I mean,
want
they
that to
sink
happen,
anyways, because you harvest, and when you harvest, you pull a bunch of soil out.
which is a good thing because we want that. So what we're going to do is get some bulk stuff to put in the beds to top them off. But I think
Yeah.
letting them sit, and my strawberries all died last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
and here's the thing. I kind of think it's a blessing because now I
Mhm.
don't have to worry about putting straw on them, keeping them warm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but anyway, I think that's the important thing. So setting
Mhm.
up for success is doing something that, works well,
Mhm.
you
Yeah. Just
know.
loose. Hers is of mammoth proportions. She has to ask permission to go to the greenhouse to get around
Yeah,
it.
it thrives in greenhouses and takes over pretty quick.
Hmm. Hail, bugs, drought
Mhm.
over the years. Yep, Gail, you have. You
Yep.
have.
I
Yeah.
mean, and that's the other thing. We have the hail season.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's not a once in a lifetime thing. We
Yeah.
get repeated hail throughout the year,
Yeah.
and two of them have been horrid.
Uh huh. You know what you should do, Lisa? You should, and you probably already are doing this, but look at what. So you know that I've got my little food forest that I'm
Yep.
starting, and it's not a big deal right now. It's just
Right.
lemon balm. I've got some evening primrose out there. I've got a peach tree that we found. That's definitely a peach or a nectarine, by the way, because we
Nice.
did have to pull the fruit off of it, but we were able to cut it open, and we saw that seed in there, so we know it's a peach or a nectarine. But then I got some mullein growing, but I also planted some Jerusalem artichoke because those guys, I haven't watered any of that stuff. I don't take care of it. I don't tend to it. It takes care of itself. I know that one of the things that will grow without water is salsify. It's actually spelled like salsify, but it's another kind of a potato. Just throwing some stuff out here. I'm telling you that, well, you wouldn't want to grow St. John's wort because the animals, that sucker. But I'm just wondering if there's things that are drought tolerant that maybe next year when you're not really gardening, you maybe it could be your year just for experimentation for some things that are supposed to be drought tolerant that you don't have to water.
Yeah. I mean, we did try those high altitude seeds that are
Uh-huh.
supposed to, handle the drought, handle the
How'd they do it?
elevation.
How'd they
I don't
do?
think any of them are doing great except the cabbage.
Huh.
That's it. The cabbage is doing great. The spinach went to seed the minute I put it outside.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And you have the compost from your chickens that you put into your soil, right? It's
yep.
not like an issue where necessarily the soil is depleted in, say, nitrogen. Are you getting lots of greens and no actual vegetables?
No, we're getting vegetables. They're just growing slow because we go up and
Oh,
down. It's like the
mhm.
greenhouse. Like we're gonna be so Thursday in Rapid. It's gonna be 105
Uh-huh.
in Rapid City. So it's gonna be
Ooh,
about 93 here.
mhm,
Um, and it's just. I mean, that's just too hot for tomatoes.
mhm,
It's good for them, but it gets really hot for them.
mhm,
Our zucchini and squash, even though they thrive on heat, they're just
mhm.
slow this year. But
Yeah,
we've been in the 70s and 80s, which
mhm.
is usually enough for them.
Yeah. Yes, mullein will flower, but it's going to have the rosette first. It's a
Yep.
biannual plant, but it doesn't necessarily take it 2 years to get to the second phase, even though it'll grow the rosette, and then you'll have a stalk shoot out the middle, and it might be too late this year for that to happen, so it might not do it till next year. And when the stalk shoots up, it'll get yellow flowers on it, which are great for making for an oil for ear infections. Really good for that. That's what I've used it for. Now, what you're going to see this year, Karen, I don't know where you live, but I caught, like, we had mullen all over the place in northern Arizona,
Here
and
too.
we got so much snow in northern Arizona. And they'll actually turn into, like, their leaves will curl up and they like globe themselves. It's like this little ball where they go to protect themselves to keep themselves warm during the winter, which
Wow.
I never knew that they did that, but then I had them growing around so much, and I just love that plant because it's good for so many things. So yeah, flowers on year 2. I'm just saying it might not technically be 2 years. It'll be next year for you though, for because of how late it is in the season. Oh, worst year with bugs. Mm-hmm. Yep, you're in Connecticut. Yep, that's how that'll roll for you then.
Connecticut rocks.
Yeah, I love the leaves when I'm using mullein leaves. Yep, helpful for asthma, even COPD, and I know a couple of people that have used those and they feel like it's given them some relief. Also good for any like respiratory that's like a sticky, where you're coughing and you can't cough anything up. The one that we can't name, the name we can't name on here. That was one that they people would use it for in the herbal world because
The
it'll
one that
help.
almost killed me last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I joke about it, but it was true. It was pretty awful.
Yeah. Not a good feeling.
No, no.
Mhm.
So, what are some other ways to set yourself up for success?
So another thing that I was thinking of is what do you do? What's everybody doing at nighttime? Because I caught myself on a roll of, I don't know, it was several weeks that it went by and I was not feeling productive. I had little things not getting done that I had wanted to get done. And I'm talking fun stuff. I'm not necessarily even talking chores because I have a lot of hobbies. There's a lot of things I want to do. And it had been several, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm so lazy. I'm not getting anything done. And you know what I was doing? I was nerding out on Little House on the Prairie every night. That's what I was doing. I mean,
Sometimes you need that.
sometimes, but every night to where it prevents you from being productive the next day because I would stay up late watching
Oh,
Little House on the Prairie. So then I would get up late and yeah, you work nights, gear. Oh man. Yeah. Um, so I found for me, I quit doing that. I made sure like after work when I'm getting dinner going, I kind of get myself set up for whatever little project it is that I'm wanting to work on. And I make sure I'm investing some time in that before I go in to watch Little House on the Prairie because I'm still watching it. But then I also am making sure like I'm not staying up until, after midnight because that was what was causing me problems.
hey
So
Tina.
that's why that was another thing I had to kind of shift around. And now I feel like I'm back to my normal kind of routine of getting things done. Nelly Olson. I just love that show. And it's
That's
funny because
funny.
yeah, if you haven't seen it in a while, go watch Little House on the Prairie because I watched it when I was younger, but now that I'm older, like you just notice different things.
Um, they were tougher than I am.
Hmm.
I shouldn't say that, but
I don't know. I think it was just accepted. I think it was just the norm. You
yeah,
know,
it was the
you
norm.
know how it is, Lisa. If you
Yeah.
get, like you and I both come from like the clinical world too, and you say that we used to I would tell my coordinators and things like, you got to remind your patients to come in for these appointments. They're sick, they're old, they can't be trusted. I said that one time and the door was open and there was patients. But it's true, and now I'm older and it's true. If the people who do not feel well have not felt well for so long, it is their baseline. They don't Sometimes they forget what it feels like to feel good. They're so
They
used to it.
when you what a psychiatrist that I work with one time said to me, she's like, if you've never had a good day, you don't know what you're missing.
You don't.
If you've had one, you at
Mhm.
least know what it was like, and you may
Yep.
work towards
Yep.
that.
I will say this though, I saw the Little House on the Prairie show, the one where they all go to the city to live for a little bit, and Caroline, who, that's Charles's wife. Caroline says, everybody here is hurrying. I look out the window and everyone's hurrying and they're working hard and they're waiting. They're trying to save up money
Yep,
because they're for that time frame, for whatever they want to get to. But
yep.
for tomorrow, she called it. And tomorrow never comes. And she wanted to leave and go back to their homestead, and just knowing that they would be, poor, but they would be rich in the quality of their life. So it feels like that right there, like that was their trade-off. But they were used to the regular struggles of homestead life without all of what we have. So they didn't know.
And that's the thing. So it's, how do you define rich? How do you define
Yes.
success, right?
Yes. Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Like without going into the whole thing, but we recently sold Hank,
Mhm.
um, because he was intact.
Mhm.
And it's a whole long story. I'm not going to get into it, but we sold him and it was the best decision we've made.
Mhm.
And, do we make a ton of money? No.
Mhm.
But you know what? We have peace.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
we have relief.
Yeah. Yeah.
We made a
You
mistake
know,
and we realize we screwed up and it was time
yeah.
to move on.
And it feels good right now,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
I feel like when you talk about success and what success means to everybody, I think at a young age, we are all sold this definition of success. We're
Yep.
sold the definition. They call it the American dream, right? We're sold this definition. So at a young age, we start working our butts off. You go to school and, oh, forever on that degree. And then you're working your butts off. You might emotionally and spiritually and physically miss holidays with your family. Even if you're present in person, you might not be present in
Yep.
emotions and spirit for certain
Yep.
holidays because you're so overworked and you're so exhausted. You
Right.
do all of this, you get all the things, you wear the clothes, you do all the things that, you know, because you think that you're doing the right thing. You think that you're, just doing the right thing. You want to provide for your family and give them the things, the children, the things, and all of
Right.
that stuff. And I feel like that's the path we end down, but it never ends. People die never owning their home. They die maybe never even owning their vehicle, and they've worked so hard, but that's because they took on they accepted the definition of success that was sold to them when they were young. And I think that at a certain time we all have to say, what am I happy with? What does success mean to me?
Like I
Right.
wish I would have been taught to enjoy things.
Mm-hmm.
Instead it was work, 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 work. And
Yes,
that's
me
all we did,
too. Yes, me too. From an
you know.
early age, I worked in my dad's office when I was 12. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that.
So there was so interesting. Yeah, it's called Modern Prairie.
Mhm,
Interesting thing or thing that I noticed about myself, and it's just I think it comes
mhm,
with the changes that happen when you're living
mhm.
what you want to live
Yep.
for.
Mhm,
I used to go to craft fairs all the time
mhm.
and understand where I'm coming from first, okay?
Okay.
Used to go to craft fairs all the time on the East Coast. They were
Mhm,
always around.
mhm,
You would always have like cheap little crafts to wildly expensive crafts, right?
mhm,
Nowadays, here we are in South Dakota. There's not a ton of craft fairs. They have more in Rapid. I'm not driving to Rapid
mhm,
for it. Um, But we have the ones here, and I go to the ones that are larger locally, and
Mm-hmm.
then I take them for what they are. Hey, kill it and grill it, hang in there, my friend.
Hey
Um,
there.
it's hot down there.
Mm.
So this weekend we went to the one up in Spearfish because it's
Mm-hmm.
really large. I didn't even know about it until this year. And we went up there and Ryan, dutifully came with me. And we walked around. Now,
Dude,
the talent is off the chart.
I delayed response on that
That's
because
right.
my husband, let's go to a craft fair. He'll be like,
No, he went because I don't usually, it's rare that I say let's go do that stuff, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we went and wide range of amazing talent,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Definitely priced where they needed to be for the talent,
Mm-hmm.
but I had trouble with the prices.
Yeah. I
And
know
can
what
I
you're
just tell
talking
you, I
about.
walked around that fair and I admired the stuff that was made and
Mm-hmm.
crafted,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't want any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was weird to me. And the only two people that I bought from
Mm-hmm.
were two people in my fiber group locally who
Aw.
were there
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like supporting them was more important than anyone else, which is so
Yeah.
terrible. But
No, I mean that's the way it has to be. You got to
I
support.
just didn't want the stuff.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's just so bizarre for me
Mm-hmm.
because I used to go to craft fairs, come back with a haul.
Yeah. But this time you went and you're like, don't need it, don't need it, don't need it. That's really cute. Don't need it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, really beautiful, priced the
Mm-hmm.
way it should be because
Yep.
stuff is expensive and
Yep.
they're talented.
Yep. I do that. I do that. And I have tried not to collect things, but consumables. I do like consumables, like your soap. But if I see it, I'm not buying it because I try to make my own, unless I want to try someone else's. Maybe it's a unique scent or something I don't have, in my cabinets at the time because soap
Well,
making is
well, here's the funny part was
where
so
it's
true. So true. Here's the funny part though. Ryan was like, "Are you going to get soap?" Because I've been buying soap from craft fairs since long before this. And I was like, "No, I can make soap."
uh-huh. Yeah, make soap.
But you want to know what made my day? We went
No.
up there as a Habitat for Humanity
Mm-hmm.
restore. So
Uh-huh.
while we're there, because it's 2 hours away,
Yeah.
while we're there, we're gonna stop at the restore, and I got two tomato cages for $1,
Oh, there you go.
and I
We
was thrilled.
use we use fencing for our tomato cages, and I love it. I feel like
Yep.
they work so much better than a
Hmm.
regular tomato cage. And there's
Yep.
another making sure you're set up for success. You got to get your tomato cages in time, or you're going to have a problem
Yeah.
getting around all the chaos that's
Yeah.
growing on.
I
Uh,
need them for the greenhouses.
yeah.
I need them for the greenhouses, but
Hmm.
they make it easier because there's less tying up when I put them
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I think the other thing for setting yourself up for success is like not only knowing yourself and knowing what
Yes.
your goals are,
Yeah.
but
That's where it has
being
to start.
being realistic.
Hmm. Yeah.
Being realistic is so important.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, and Jennifer Ocean nailed it. I try to live below my means so I can have peace and time to do what I want and forced to work jobs not
Yes.
forced to work jobs I hate. Absolutely. We've
Hmm.
been doing that our whole lives,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
we hoped it would pay off and we think now it's going to pay off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you work a job you hate for too long, it'll kill you. It'll make you sick.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ask me
Gwen stopped using tomato cages. Yeah, the cattle panel works great in the garden. In the greenhouses, it's harder.
mine.
I actually bought tomato cages that were squares
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I flattened them
Oh,
out and I
nice.
used them in the raised bed greenhouse just to hold them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I can't get a panel in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another thing, so like thinking about an earlier, where is it? Nancy said it. Here it is. Even doing the one thing on you daily plan as a win, a success because it was accomplished for that day. So even like your
Absolutely.
big picture of success and then your smaller pictures. Like what do you want to do this week? What do you need to accomplish this month? And then maybe this week, and then try to get little chunks, daily bites of whatever that is, because it's achievable, and making sure you have a clear plan. Because if you have a clear plan, if I say like something, I like when we went out there and we did all the weeds, I'm like, I'm going out into the garden tomorrow morning. The weather's going to be perfect. We're going to do this. And me and my husband got out there and we did it. And I'm still sore. He's
This week,
not, because he's in better shape than I am.
this week I'm cleaning my craft room again,
Yeah.
so
All
I
right.
don't
Well,
need
yeah. Declutter, right?
not declutter. I got drop and go syndrome going on.
Ah, yeah. So I have stacks of things that I need to do. And I think it's Garden State so and so that's thinking about doing a collaboration. And hopefully she does that soon, because I've got some stacks, and her collaboration will really encourage me to do that.
Yeah, I've got stuff like, oh, I came back from knitting group and I put,
Mm-hmm.
projects on the desk, and
Uh-huh.
now the desk is full of stuff, not enough room for the computer, and
Mm-hmm.
I need to do all that.
See,
So I'm
now
going to do
that's
that.
setting you up for success. That's
Yep.
another good one, because knitting is something you wanted to learn. So you have found a way to connect with other knitters to learn that skill, and better yet, to carve out time to do that, right?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've only missed once, and that was last week because I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling it. But other than that, I haven't missed, and I've made that a plan because it's important for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And I
making
really
sure
love
that,
the ladies that I sit and knit with.
mm-hmm, perfect condition. Yes. Yeah, that was me and my box of veggies that I got.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Jennifer. Yeah, setting ourselves up for success. Another thing, so like not just the understanding of what success means to us, what are our goals, and making our plans for that, but and going to bed early. What about like the self-care to help you get there? I mean, we all know the things we need to do to make sure that we feel better to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish, but are we holding ourselves accountable, when we're eating the thing that upsets our stomach and we know that's going to happen, or the regularly eating the bad food that we know is going to make us feel worse? Keeping those things in mind, because that's another area for me, is trying. I'm still on a mission of trying to eat better, hence my healthy Oreo pie version.
Yep. Yep.
We don't just sacrifice too much. There's always a way to make things healthy.
Absolutely, Nancy. I've taken a huge step back overall.
Mhm.
And I'm fine with it,
Yeah.
because, number one, we don't have tons of things going on, meaning new and exciting.
Hmm.
Um, and quite honestly, I don't have time to watch YouTube. I don't, not this time of year. In the winter, I may. However, this winter, I'm planning on doing a lot more um, creating, but not videos.
Hmm. Yeah. Sometimes, as far as like when we create content, I made some relish and I didn't make a video. I canned, like, I don't know, got 5 jars of relish. I'm so happy about that.
Nice.
I didn't video any of it because I wanted to pay attention to what I was doing. And I can get distracted pretty easily sometimes. Makes me feel better for the day. Well, us girls, we do like to look nice. Sometimes I don't care though.
Yeah, no, I think it's great because it is true. It does help people
Aw,
feel better.
thank you. Thank you,
I
Charles.
just,
Good to find out.
I was actually joking with somebody. They were like, once you hit your 40s, you're like, you don't care what other people think. And I'm like, no kidding. Cause I was telling her, she said a couple examples of hers. And I was like, mine is, I walk right into the grocery store covered in pig poop and mud. And I don't care that I smell gray hair. I don't, I'm past that stuff.
You know what it is? Okay, here's the thing for me. So I still got some vanity going on. Can't help that. But
It's okay.
I do recognize I don't judge people. And I feel like I've figured this out. When I go into a store, when I go in somewhere, I don't care what people look like. I mean, as long as I'm not smelling them from halfway across the room, they're good by me.
You'd be smelling me.
And even then, I might not. But just saying, like, you don't care. You don't notice. You're doing what you're doing. You don't pay attention. And once you figure out that everybody's walking around pretty much in the same kind of, I got to get done what I got to do. I got to get done what I got to, and they're trying to
Yeah.
do their own thing. They're not paying attention. You realize people aren't paying attention to you. And
They
then,
could care less.
yes, they could care less. They don't know you. I mean, if you're not seizing on the floor, nobody really cares what's going on with you.
Even if you are, sometimes they ignore you.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. It's just how much time do I have in the day and where am I choosing to put my effort? So it depends. Like, I don't know.
You go, Jennifer Ocean. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just growing your own food.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm warping into the matrix. I know. I got to clean this craft room so I don't need the background. Yeah.
By the way, I do want to mention one thing. So, Bushcraft Family started doing a morning news series that I love. Just kind of shouting that out for everybody.
Awesome.
I don't
Yeah, I
always
saw
get
that.
to catch it, but I go back to listen to the replay because he shares lots of great information. I've been noticing that too, like the lots of perfume, yeah, and the makeup face because I quit wearing so much of it. But thank you, Jan.
Yeah.
hmm I feel like for me, as far as setting myself up for success, the big things that I feel like I've been thinking about this mulch and the vegetables. I've been thinking about what am I doing at night so that I can make sure that I can function well the next day. That's been a
Yep.
that's been a biggie for me because me and my husband could both very easily be night owls. Like we could very easily stay up till 1 a.m. and wake up at 9. Like if we don't watch ourselves, that's what we could do. But I really would like to get up around 6:30, 7 o'clock. That's like a nice time to wake
Nothing
up.
earlier than 7 for me.
Yeah.
I did it way too many years. I can't do it anymore.
It depends. But that's for me, that's been a nice thing because then I get some morning time too,
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, I hope everybody else is doing that. Does anybody have anything in the chat they want to share about anything that they've been doing that they think they could change or that they have changed?
Tell Jan I said hello since she can't read the chat while driving. She's nice. She's my YouTube friend, said Jennifer Ocean Homestead.
Aw. And Jan, Bush said, be careful doing two things at the same time. Oh, I'm glad you said alarm. Because I've been setting my alarm for certain things I don't want to miss on my phone. I have my alarm set for Monday night Bible study with Christine, Miss Gilliam Farms, and Ginger Not for Nothing Homestead, and Nana 9 Acres is on there, and White Rock Homestead. This last time it was just Ginger and Christine, but I set the alarm on my phone for that so that I don't miss it. So using my alarms, because I do enjoy listening to those ladies talk and about, it's called Digging in the Word with the Four Sisters. And I really enjoy listening to that.
Yeah. I think setting your alarm is really helpful. Like I set an alarm every morning because otherwise I'll just sleep.
Do you?
Yeah. I've never been somebody to wake up. I am
At
not a
all?
morning person. I'll just keep sleeping.
So I set my alarm, but I set it for what it's set. I hate waking up to an alarm. And I have wind chimes even on it. If I do wake up, I wake up to wind chimes because I cannot stand an alarm. But I set it for like the latest I could possibly go to work, which means I'm late. But remember, I work for an amazing company, and it's not like anybody's watching when I'm clocking in. As long as I get my 8 hours in, and I get my commitments done, I'm good. But the latest to where I feel like that way I wake up on my own without an alarm.
That's good.
I use the alarm for the things during the day.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I do that too. Like I put alarms on things because
Mhm,
like even my fiber group, I have to put an alarm, right? Because I usually try to feed before I go to that group.
mhm,
It's a few hours and stuff like that.
mhm. I feel like that helps me too.
Or
Kind
I
of
put
remind
like
me.
alerts in my phone for things that I need to do. Like this week we're going to be really hot for us, so we'll be doing inside stuff and then we'll be going out and hosing pigs off and all that cuz
Mhm.
once it gets above 85, they've got to get cooled off.
Hang in there. We can't have that many more weeks of this, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, it is what it is.
Mhm. Yeah.
July.
Gail's saying she needs to get back to that 10-minute chores thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that I was doing that too. I think I'm going to start doing that. You know what's kind of stuck with me is the 2 minute if the 2 minutes. If the 2 minute rule, if it only takes 2 minutes to do it, just do it. So I've actually caught that going through my mind a lot and doing that with the 2 minutes, but not the 10 minute. I need to do the 10 minute. Yep, Nancy, that's me. I like for my body to wake up when it wants to. And so if I wake up to an alarm, I'm like, I know I didn't get enough sleep. I know my body wanted to sleep more. Hmm. Oh my goodness, Gwen, a alarm like a foghorn. That's not fun. Oh, Gillum. Ah, that's funny. Yeah, okay, so yeah, Mrs. Gillum Farms. Oh, Jan, Gail's watching your videos right now. We do have, like, I know Broken Hearts Ministry is still trying to get some hours in. If anybody can go and watch her channel, anybody else here looking for hours? I need hours still. Um,
Okay.
if anyone else is still needing hours,
Tina Life in the Piedmont.
yes, Tina Life in the Piedmont's needing hours.
Blue, how you doing on hours, Blue?
Blue, aren't you monetized already? She might have left.
She may have. I missed.
Hmm.
Um,
I assumed she was, but I could be mistaken too.
no, her subs are getting up there, but I don't know if she needs hours or what.
Mm-hmm.
900 hours.
900 hours. Okay.
Heather, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms,
Oh, yep.
Sulphur
Milk.
Lions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they start
Mm-hmm.
dropping because if you're over 365 days, you'll start
Yeah.
losing them.
Mm-hmm.
Bump up the content.
And Jamie's Country Living. Yes. Thank you, Gail. We
Yep.
need to all start like an email stream um, for all of us. Get a plan going.
Well, yeah, Blue. I mean, that's life. I mean, I ain't been posting a lot either.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, I got something easy to post and I still haven't done it.
It's hard. And I edit the heck out of my videos. If I
I
didn't
do
edit them
too.
so much, I'd be able to post a lot more often, but I just can't. I can't for the life of me let myself not edit the heck out of a video
You do
because
have to edit them because,
mhm,
like turning around in your kitchen 50 times is not something people want to see. You know what I mean?
mhm,
I
yeah,
mean, that's the kind of thing that I edit out.
mhm, yeah. Are you monetized, Our Treasured Home?
You should be.
Oh, and Jennifer Ocean Homestead needs subscribers.
Yeah, exactly, Charles. I mean, people are out and about, and I
Mm-hmm.
just don't want to post garbage so people watch.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. One thing I can say about like setting yourself up success for YouTube is just making sure you establish your friends and other people that are in the same boat because we'll support one another. We can't like make ourselves be successful by watching our own videos. That's not going to happen. That's not you can't. But you can work with other people to help one another be successful. I think we need to get like a email group together or something, a little plan. Oh,
1
you
minute
are?
left,
That's
Mountain
good,
Grandma.
Nancy. Oh, gosh. Okay. Any questions for us before we go? Thank you all for joining us this week. I hope that this was helpful. Our goal for this live is always to try to motivate everybody and help us all get to wherever the heck it is we're wanting to go. So, and to keep our life balanced. That's what the whole 7F goal setting thing is about.
Get out there and work on your goals, people.
Yeah. Think about what you really want to do in life and make sure you're living your life and your life isn't living you.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
Gear grind and get some sleep, my
Oh,
friend.
yes, Gear. Go get some rest. All right, everyone. We will see you next week. And for everybody that is needing watch hours, I'll be reaching out to you. So you all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody. Thanks
Bye,
for coming.
everybody.